A rare opportunity to speak on their behalf. Coincidentally, the ESAP group had now become a poster child of agitating for other issues which Edo people had bottled up over the years, cutting across responsibilities which fall under the federal government and others which fall on the table of the state government. Let me put beyond doubt that the EndSARS protesters are peaceful protesters. Why other individuals have the capacity to vent their spleen via several means, I want to say that several calls were heeded as early as possible. It may not have escalated to the point we have found ourselves. I go straight to the issues without wasting time. The EndSARS struggle arose from the pains Nigerians are had to suffer from the hands of the police brutality. Some of us had spent several years trying to engage them on the need to do things in the right way, ranging from turning Edo people to ATM machine. They see them as an avenue for them to make huge money for themselves. They look up nobody to cry to. Initially, it sounded like a joke because the class of individuals who ordinarily will never be part of any protest were the class of persons who started it. There was no need to relegate them because it created a new phase in the struggle for emancipating our people from the hands of oppression. Today, police brutality has now become the face for asking for other things. And I feel that, Mr. Governor, we want to appreciate you for creating this platform. And we want to beg that while this engagement continues, you must give us the platform to continue to protest lawfully. You must give us the platform to continue to exercise our rights, to protest, to agitate for that which is right. It also helps you easily to engage the federal government in making special requests for which your state desires very strongly. And like I said, the EndSARS protesters are very peaceful. The Deputy Governor can attest to that. When we approached the government on Friday last week, when we were at the King Square, some individuals led by one Dogo fired live ammunitions on peaceful protesters, which led to the death of one of the protesters. We took that corpse to the government house to express our displeasure. Protesters are known not to carry arms. What we have at best is our placards and our ability to engage critical issues, which bothers us very well. We were there, the Deputy Governor in his wisdom didn't only address us, he evaporated from the government house and condensed with us at the King Square and addressed that peaceful protesters. We agree that all through this, no property was destroyed, nobody was attacked, and no gunshot was fired. That presupposes that there are genuine EndSARS protesters who are still very much within the state. And as I speak to you, Mr. Governor, even while we are here deliberating, we still have a detachment of them at the main gate. They are over 100 meters away from the military. They have never been attacked by the military because they are agitating, they are civil in their best mood, and they are asking for that which is theirs, as it were. Just to make the point straight, what we are asking for is very simple. If you like, there are those requirements in Chapter 2 of our Constitution, fundamental objective and directive principles of state policies. That's what they are asking for. We want good road, we want social amenities. This is what government, because today we have found out in this country that those things people pray to God for are what other government provide for their citizens. We exhaust the power of asking God for a lot, whereas abroad, those are things their government provides for them. What they're asking for is simple. Ask the police to be civil in their approach. Unfortunately, sir, the SARS are not the sacrificial lamb. We still have other tactical units within the state CID who are worse than the SARS. As I speak to you, the anti-cultism unit, which is made up of 90% of cultists, are worse than the SARS in Edo State. And I can tell you, we have had cause to engage them over the years to change this their way. But it seems to us as though there is no succor, despite hue and cry. But we are convinced that the end of that is now. Moving forward, sir, I have also been asked by a detachment of the NSAS protesters to request very strongly, by way of providing solutions to this problem we have identified, that government must have an open ears towards the cries of the protesters. When they started initially, a lot of us discarded them as fraudsters. What do they have to say? That you leave the street, they are thieves. But again, we have forgotten that if we have a system that runs smoothly, some of them are graduates. I see them as the intellectual wing of the Nigerian system, because it is not easy to able swindle a man. So if you have such capacity within your ranks, we must harness it. We must look for how we get the very best from this individual to the good of our state, rather than discard them. If we had attended to their cry early enough, we may not have found ourselves in this precarious condition we are trying to provide solutions to. That is one, sir. Then two, sir. I noticed that being proactive to this call, the state government have appointed or have inaugurated a judicial panel of inquiries to look into all this. First, I want to commend the government for doing that, and to particularly appoint one of our own, Mr. Kola Edokpayi, into that ranks. A man who has been fighting this SARS and other security agencies for over a decade. But we also feel that it could be expanded to cover areas like the Nigerian Bar Associations and other individuals who also have a history of engaging this people and has special record. Government could expand it. Whereas it is laudable, it is beautiful, but we feel that it could be expanded because the scope is wide enough. The scope is wide enough to cover cases in Edo South, cases in Edo Central, and cases in Edo North. I do not think a 12-man panel will be sufficient to cover these three central districts within the limited time which government has given to them. Accordingly, we are calling for the expansion of that panel so as to cover the yearnings and aspirations of the weak. Mr. Governor, let me inform that as part of the pains of people, the NSAS protesters, because it is so hardy to see that we were protesting against the inactions of SARS 4 years ago. One of our Edo youth was murdered in cold blood by 5 SARS officers who came in from Lagos, Bensi Obode. The civil society hit the street for weeks. His corpse was concealed. It took the family 57 days to locate that this man murdered this young man, dumped him in Central Hospital with a different name. We had to go to Lagos to get information that he was detained at the Benin morgue. Trial of these 5 individuals have been going on, and on November 3rd is the adoption of the written address where 21 witnesses have testified. Unfortunately, these 5 individuals who are members of SARS have escaped arising from that break. You will agree with me that those genuine SARS can never be part of those who have embarked on that unworthy mission. We feel it's a disservice to our state, and the fruits of that release of the prisons will start showing in the next few weeks. As the state, we have to pay dearly for it. Therefore, Mr. Governor, we are calling that you must take a proactive step towards ensuring that those who have been the challenges of the society must be brought back and made to pay for their misdemeanor. Finally, sir, because other persons will have to speak, I am asked, sir, to ask that the government consider the establishment of the Neighborhood Watch. I am asked to call Mr. Goron's attention to reconstitute or to constitute establishment of the Neighborhood Watch, whereby recruitment should be open and transparent. Again, it helps to address the issue of community policing. If you have individuals in your neighborhood who are now given responsibility to protect their various neighborhoods, it will help to bring calmness and security to the various neighborhoods. Mr. Governor, while we were protesting, we were at the main gates this early morning. Some police officers came in there this morning and fired live ammunition on peaceful protesters. Unfortunately, these protesters were about 100 meters away from where you have the military checkpoint. They have been there with the military for the past few days. They have had no altercation because it's our right to protest. If we are asking for that which is ours, I do not think in a democracy we are stopped from doing that once it is done within the bounds of civility. That we have continued to do at the main gate houses without any record of any violence, without any record of any attack, without any record of any pain. But unfortunately, even as protesters, we have even been victims. One of the protesters have had their cars stolen because of this by armed men, and we are not happy with this development. We feel government must rise up and look into these very critical issues. If militaries and police officers are detached to check excesses of criminals, they must protect the rights of peaceful protesters. Let me also say this as an addendum, Mr. Governor. As we go back to our various homes, some of us had to crawl, some of us had to frog jump to find ourselves here this afternoon because of the various points manned by the military to get here. In fact, I had to engage them critically, even to my own detriment, to get here. But because we were determined to have this interface with Mr. Governor, the pains for which we find ourselves here, we can swallow. But Mr. Governor must help each and every one of us to get to our various destinations safely by giving them directives that these individuals have come to engage with you. While going back, we must not be subjected to pain. We must not be asked to go through pains, being part of their own style of enforcing the directives that have been given by government. Just to round up by asking Mr. Governor, as a fallout, the subhead of the NSAS protesters, we feel, Nigerians feels, that the emoluments, the payments being swallowed by members of the House of Representatives, House of Assembly members, Senate is hugely outrageous. We feel, Nigerians feel, are part of the bullet points from this struggle is that our senators, members of House of Representatives, members of the House of Assembly, and other government appointees are going home with too much. They work like ants. They cannot earn like elephants. We have individuals. And whereas when the future and fortune of civil servants, public servants are brought to them, they cannot do better than asking that they cannot get more than 30,000 naira. Your Excellency, it's also painful to hear because these are some of the demand Your Excellency may need to forward to the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission and to the President with respect to the fact that it is callous for a governor having served 8 years will be entitled to pension while still being a senator. And we feel that that is double earning, which they will not allow as governor for someone to have an appointment under them, to earn under elsewhere, and also earn under them. We feel that that's some of the issues that this NSAS struggle has thrown up. And we feel that, Mr. Governor, you must set the pace. You must set the pace. Governors must help Nigerians to speak to the center because our constitution has given too much power to the federal. That's why we are crying for true federalism. Let every zone, let every state develop at their own pace. Let it not be subject to that which the president is willing to give. We call at a time that Mr. Governor must look critically into those emoluments which are outrageous, which are neck-cutting, and bring desperation to calling and bring desperation into them when they are asking for positions of authority. Thank you.
Human Rights Movement and also the interim coordinator of the Civil Society Organization. In addition to what my colleagues have earlier said, when we started this NSAS protest, till now it was peaceful and it is still very peaceful. But in some persons who perceive to be hoodlums hijack the process. And one of the reasons that aggravated or angered some of the youth was our attack. Was the attack on the peaceful protesters, which I've also mentioned. I want to put it before the government that first, the persons who shot at peaceful protesters should be arrested. Secondly, I'm humbly making a request that all the security chiefs in Edo State, most especially the Commissioner of Police, should be redeployed because they blatantly refuse to provide security for the peaceful protesters. When we got wind on that second day we came out for our peaceful demonstration that we were going to be attacked, a message was sent to the Commissioner of Police and all the security heads. They refused to act. We humbly request that they should provide, their men should be on standby in case of any attack. A colleague of mine here called a very hierarchy officer in the state command who ended the call, and before ending the call, said that anything we want to see, they can bear them. So, PRO specifically of Edo State Police Command said, whatever we see the cause of the protest, we will bear it. That also gives us the belief that probably either the police or other security agencies, they have hand in that attack. There is a perception that those you see carrying out destruction today, they are hoodlums. I do not have that belief that they are hoodlums. They are children of nobody, which the government refused to train and empower to become somebody. The gap between the government and the people is too huge, that the government officials, they are living in luxuries, while the children of the common men are living in abject poverty. As we speak, no woman can boldly go to market today and want to buy a bag of rice. A bag of rice is about 35, 40,000 naira, 42,000 naira. So they will continue to agitate until when they are holding 8, 10, 15,000 naira, they will be able to buy a bag of rice. How much is the liter of fuel? I want you to urge the government. This is not the time for plenty meetings. It is time to act. The government, the president must, as a matter of urgency, reduce the fear of pump price to maybe around 65 or 80 naira. Then the people will live. Secondly, please, all the security personnel in our streets should be withdrawn. You can ask them to go and maybe cover up or match government and major facilities. When they continue to fire live ammunitions at protesters, it will not reduce the anger in us. Rather, it will continue to aggravate the anger in the youth. Again, those that have been arrested in the course of these genuine protests. Blessed Igirisi was unjustly arrested somewhere around Upper Sakpon over yesterday. Please, the government should make frantic effort to get them released, except those who took laws into their hands in the course of fighting this struggle. Lastly, we want to continue to agitate peacefully, which is our right as a Nigerian. The government owes us a duty to protect the lives of citizens. The government must continue to provide security of life and property, which this government have not prioritized over the years. As a human rights activist, I have been at the forefront of fighting for the masses. Most times, we see police officers marking checkpoints daily from morning to evening, but at night, you don't see them anywhere. I have driven from Upper Sakomba bypass to Luku bypass, midnight, you don't see police checkpoints on the way. We are left to act or to live on our own. So please, the government at all levels must take security as a priority. Thank you very much.
First, I want to thank you for giving us this platform to speak our mind. I must commend all the youth that came out to fight for peace Nigeria. For me, this struggle is beyond NSAS. This struggle is to ensure that Nigeria is better for all. Mr. Governor, sir, I want to beg, and every one of us that are here today, that for this country to move forward, all of us must change our mindset. Whatever we have said here today, if we don't change our mindset towards looting and embezzling the resources of this land, this country will not move forward. So we must change our mindset, including me. For instance, when you are driving around the roads of Edo State, You find out that everywhere are so dirty. I've written to Waste Management Board several times. Or didn't know why they should give us truck so that we can clean the streets. The answer they always give us that they don't have equipment. And our work is to clean the state without asking them to give us money. So if Waste Management Board could not change their mindset, so what they expect us as people who are willing to clean the state free of charge without money to change their mindset. So first, Nigerians as people must change their mindset for this country to move forward. And secondly, sir, like my colleague have said, I want to reiterate, because the essence of this struggle is not to cause mayhem. It's not to attack individual or governors or president, but it's to fix Nigeria, because all of us are problems of this country or of this state. So that's why I said we must change our mindset. So I want to beg that those who have arrested in the course of this struggle should be released. Please, we are begging. Blessed Emeka, Emmanuel, and so on and so forth. Blessed Iwisi. Please, sir, we are begging that those who have been arrested in the course of this struggle should be released. We are begging. That is why we said we must come here. Please, we are begging. And those that army have attacked should be looked into. Because we think more than 10 persons have been killed in Ikobara, and we are not happy. Please, sir, call on the army to calm down. Because this protest is peaceful. This protest is to ensure that Nigeria is better for everybody, including you as governor. Because if all of us leave this country today, then nobody will fix this country. That's why we are here, to ensure that this country is fixed. So this country is all about fixing Nigeria and fixing all of us. Thank you, sir. Isoleto! Greater Tado Youth! Greater Nigeria! We move! Thank you.
I believe, quickly, 60% of the victims of police brutality is a student. The panel of inquiry constituted, I believe this Edo State is for everybody, whether you are APC or PDP. The panel of inquiry must not be politicalized, because the names we saw there, sir, were names that were being submitted to the appropriate authority without proper check and vetting. As earlier hinted by my fellow comrade, that panel of inquiry must be expanded to cover all areas so we can have. Quickly, sir, before I conclude, the government must not continue to listen to some persons that are interested in their personal gain. The government must open doors to constructive criticism for our state to move forward. On this, I rest my comment.
On behalf of the Council of SUG President, Edo State, talking about the youth, yes, every youth seated down here wants a better Nigeria. All of us. But I want to submit that the job is not all for the government. Yes, every time we come out, we say, what will the government do for us? Let us ask ourselves, what can we do for the government? It's not always what the government will do for us. I can do something on my own capacity. You can do something on your capacity. Yes, it's not easy. The security issue is not one person's issue. It is everybody's issue. So, better than here, I want to appreciate the Commissioner, His Excellency, for your time. The youth are asking for very simple, a better government. It's not overnight. Yes, we know. It's not going to be overnight. Seated down here, when you go out of this place, pass the message. Tell them that a better Nigeria begins with you and I. Yes, it's you and I. It's a job for everybody. It's a collective effort. Yes, the purpose of this meeting has been established. So many persons have spoken. Our governor and the deputy governor they've been writing and they've been jotting things down. No need of going back saying what everybody have said. It's very clear. But what I'm saying is, it's not after we say it here and tomorrow you call us again to come and sit down here again and be talking for the same thing. After all this said, let there be, we need change, we need actions. Words, promises. Every time the same thing. Every day we say, you keep on saying the same thing. We are tired of begging. That's why you see us on the street. And I'm saying right now, you might be able to calm this set of persons down here down. But there are some persons out there who are not in this meeting. What they want to see is the proceed, the result of this meeting. They are not in this meeting. So you cannot come and tell them that the governor promised this, or the deputy governor said this, or the SSG said this. If I'm telling them, I should be able to point it out that yes, governor promised us this and he's doing it already. My governor, I want to appreciate you. Your first tenure was marvelous, but we are expecting more this time. We are expecting more. The people of those states, we are trusted the state in your hand. We know that by the grace of God, you will take us to Eldorado. Thank you very much.
I think the discourse today is going to be predicated on three major focus. 1, reform. 2, review. 3, implementation. Where are we going to do reforms? Where are we going to do reviews? And where and when are the implementations going to take place? First, I want to talk about the Nigerian police force and the Nigerian army. Like my brothers who started said, the NSAS is not worse, is just an opening to very many worms that have been bedeviling the Nigerian states, not just at those states. It's unfortunate I expected that the Commissioner of Police would have been here and the brigade commander so we could talk to them. The issues in the police is not just about SARS. Super Mohammed of the courtesan department, anti-courtesan department of the Nigerian police is a criminal. He's worse than SARS. So it would have been better if their bosses were here. We can make sure we are activists. We have been engaging these people day in, day out. They use POS to collect money from our citizens. We need reform. The reform is not just about SARS, it's about the Nigerian police. The police need to be reformed and given psychiatric. He needs psychiatric, they need psychiatric, and they need to be certified with a psychiatric certificate. Until that is done, we may not be moving forward. Saturday, Akideno today is lying in the morgue. Why? Because some army men who had no business with him, he's a mechanic man. They had no business with his work. They didn't give him a job. Somebody went to hire them. They beat him up, and a few days after, Saturday Akideno died. Till today, the army authorities are concealing the 2 army officers that perpetrated that act. You see, these are part of the issues. So we need reforms. And where are we going to have reviews? I want to appeal to the executive governor of this state. You seem to have the popularity among the youths of the state. It will do you more good, sir, if you relax the curfew to operate from dusk to dawn. And that will enable us move freely. And let me tell you, sir, the review should also go on the issue of SARS, not the special anti-robbery squad, but senators, assembly, and rep salary. We need a review. They are elected SARS. They are the ones sapping us and sassing us. Mr. Governor, sir, we also want you to please review the issues of the institutions that have been shut down. This is part of the review. And Mr. Governor, you can, when there are protests, you can go out with security chiefs. Go there. We will not do you anything because those of us protesting are peaceful protesters. We have never harmed anybody. Mr. Governor, what would expect you to do when there are protests? Come out with your deputy and your other security chiefs. Approach us. Talk to us. Give us confidence. If you had done this when the protest started, I'm sure hoodlums would now have stolen it and hijacked it. The perception is that those hoodlums who went attacking us were sponsored. That is the perception. And we see that constant engagement, the Ministry of Youth, for instance, needs to be re-energized. Before now, the Ministry of Youth used to organize holiday programs. I started as a kid, as a manual. I have been head of youth, I've led the youth council in the state, I've council the national. I'm an activist, I'm active. But we got there through youth empowerment, through youth encouragement from the Ministry of Youth. It should not just be sideload. In fact, we need a full-fledged ministry for youth, not just youth and sports. Just ministry for youth. And it should be well adequately funded. And through the Ministry of Youth, I want to appeal to Mr. Governor that we want a constant engagement. There should be town hall meetings with youth groups like this, NAS, youth, and every other youth opinion leaders in the state. Perhaps quarterly or every 6 months. It will help you a lot. It will give you first-hand information, not what your aides come to tell you, because they tell you what you want to hear. But we will tell you what we know and what we want you to know. Having said that, I said the implementation. And let me also quickly allow me to. Let me say this. We can do better. We can do better when you are able to look at the issues that today you must. I am aware you had a meeting with the security chiefs recently, but you must meet with them again, Mr. Governor, this evening. You ask me why. You may not be aware. When the breakage into the customs office was done, it started at about 1. But I want to tell you it's a conspiracy. It started at about 1. Army barracks is closed. NSCD's office is behind. Mr. Governor, that thing started on unabated till 12:30 p.m. 12:30 a.m. the following day, before Army responded. You may not be aware, but I'm telling you first-hand information. People carted away cartons of arms and ammunition from the custom warehouse, not just bags of rice. If cars were not missing there, that the over 30 vehicles moved. But I want to ask, how did they get keys to those vehicles? How come that NDLEA came to remove their vehicle while they were looting? How come? It's conspiracy, sir. Mr. Governor, I want to tell you that I am telling you authoritatively that people picked briefcases thinking they were just found briefcases, and when they opened it, they were Beretta pistols. That is to tell you light arms are in town. That's why the coffee must be dusk to dawn, so that they don't go breaking into people's houses at night. A lot of things happen that we may not be able to talk about. But how come that no response? The Nigerian police, the Nigerian army must be. They should not just attack our youth. They should be doing their job. And I want to align with my brother that said security operatives should go to government facilities to protect it. Otherwise, what you saw a few days ago may just be a tip of the iceberg. And I want to appeal to Mr. Governor that the breakage, whether you call it breakout, or you call it breaking, or you call it jailbreak, is a conspiracy. A panel of inquiry should be instituted on the issue of the jailbreak, Benin prisons break. Because we are not happy. Hoodlums are back in the street. And now, so that I don't take the floor totally, I want to appeal to Mr. Governor that the implementations of this discourse should be effective immediately. Let's continue to reach out. I'm sure you have contacts of leaders of thoughts of these states. If you don't have, get your commissioner to do that and continue to engage them and reach out to them and continue to reach us. Mr. Governor, it will do you no harm if you are able to do a broadcast even today and begin to appeal to Edo people. It is important. It is important you appeal to our conscience. It is important to reaffirm that you are governor and governor of the people, for the people, by the people. That is part of the implementation we are asking and we are begging. That we believe that as a governor, it is not just sitting in government house. It is about the people, by the people, and for the people. Thank you, Mr. Governor.
Thank you so much for your patience and your time. Like you know, I lead the youth wing of CAN, so I may not be as vibrant as some of you are. At this point, Your Excellency, my appeal would be to all of us here. When this protest started a couple of days ago, we lended our voice, we put in support, particularly on Sunday on my way from church on the Benin Agbo Road. I saw some young men who were blocking the road. I was able to pass, I parked, and I told my son to get a camera, and I went to them. I appealed to them that the people you are stopping are also suffering like you are. Graciously, we were able to appeal to them, find them money to take care of themselves, to cool down their temperature, and the open part of the road. Unfortunately, by the next